Yeah, I don't know. I talk a lot of smack. All right. So when we get weird solutions, remember we need to check them. I don't care about an x being negative. I just care about the argument being negative. Same thing if I had something like this as an argument, and we'll work a different problem. But if I had this, 3 minus x, and I wound up with x equals 4 as a solution, even though it's positive, that answer is still garbage because it makes me take a negative log, or the log of a negative. All right. So as we go through, we have like a couple more examples, and realistically, you're going to get a ton of time in class today. So let's check it. On B, I want us to solve, or you to solve, or everybody to solve. Let's do the log of 25x, log of 25x, plus, you know what? I lied, equals 3 minus the log of x minus 3. So you guys missed 0.1, right? 3.4. That's what we're in right now. 3.4.1. Yep. So everything, not this side, these 1, 2, and 3 is today, yesterday, and the other day. And I'll let you take pictures of this. It's pretty much the same thing. The order might change, and there's obviously some commentary online, but I'll let you keep those, and you can take pictures of them here in a minute. Okay. All right. Are we doing this one together? Or are you guys doing it together with each other at your desks? What's up? What's up? Okay. Well, the good news is this is just regular old algebra stuff. Like forget for now that there's this ugly log expression. The rule of solving equations is get everything isolated. And by everything, I mean the what? The variable. Now, I can't really truly do it yet, but there's 2 of 3 things up here on the board that have x in them. Do you want them on the right or the left? So I disagree, Red, but we can go with it if I can convince you the other direction's better. You said right? Okay. Was that just you had your... Okay. All right. I'm going to add this to both sides. And I'm not going to write the whole thing because I know I'm talking about that guy here. Okay. On this side, 1 step or 2 steps? Okay. You'll UTEP 2-step. I like it. I get the log of 25x plus the log of what? X minus 3 equals 3. Now, Lay, I'm going to pick on you for a second. It's okay if you don't know the answer. Can you tell me what I was hoping people would say 1 step? Why could we do it in 1 step? Now, just not the entire thing, but instead, like my next line, and this will be easier. What's my next line? How do these combine? Okay, so you're cool with saying this is 25x times x minus 3. Okay, now I'm totally cool with showing the work, and I'm even like going slowly through here, right, to make sure we don't miss any pieces. But if you knew that they were going to be multiplied, and I knew that I was going to have log 25x plus log of something else, could we have just jumped to, since we knew it was a plus, just to here? And it's okay if you do. Like, you can skip that step. If you see that there's addition between the logs and they're going to change to multiplication, skip a line of work. It's okay if you don't. Okay, this time, I want us to, in the end, it's not going to make a difference, but I want us to do 2 things. First, can we clean this up? Just the argument. What do you have me do, Karina? (25x squared minus 75x). Okay. I will never know if you've really done what I'm about to ask you to do, but you will. I want to undo this log, not by exponentiating. Which means if we need to get an equation without a log, and I don't want you to use exponentiation, I'm asking that you think about this, at least in this one problem, as the what of the log. If we don't want to undo a log base 10 by using 10 to the power of something. The inverse, so that is the inverse. 10 and log base 10, they undo each other. But what's the other way that you guys were uncomfortable with, but I do want to make sure that we can use it and at least think through it? Yeah, 10 is the base of that log, right? So this one in mine, when I do it, it switches sides, and it's weird that it does that, but maybe it's not that big of a deal. This is a 10 right here, whether we write it or not. As I think about this, this is 10 to the power of 3. We cross over, and if I write it really small, now it would look stupid if these were my exponents, and I feel a little bit better. Not that this doesn't look any less stupid, but it's at least kind of disconnected. I think I get 10 to the 3 equals what? Good. Now, this, again, I will never know. If you don't write the 10 here and you just do it in your head, I can never tell if you're using the definition or the exponentiation. They get to the same result. There's the same amount of work needed for either of them, but we're just using the definition where 10 to this power equals the argument. And for whatever reason, when I think about it, it spits out backward or on the different sides, but nothing crazy has to happen. Okay, I want you guys to finish solving this equation. I'm going to give you a moment. If you want an obnoxious sounding hint, just ask and I'll hook it up. I can do GCF. Is there anything else that I should do? I'm going to move 10 over and I'm going to factor out the GCF, which is a 5x. It leaves behind a what? Whoa, just kidding. It's a 5. Thank you. Okay. Ooh, I'm all goofed up because of powers. Let's go one more step because I can see my mistakes. What's 10 to the third? Okay, there we go. And Addison, you are correct. I can and I will take out a 25. I don't know what I was thinking. X squared minus 3x plus 40? Hey. Well, that works out nicely. Now, I'm having a weird hiccup with my algebra 2. Not a weird one. If I want right now, can I divide both sides by 25? Yeah. Do I need to? No. If I try to set this equal to 0, is it ever going to be 0? Just 25. When is 25 0, Red? Good. So I'm going to re-ask. Can I ever make this 0? Okay. So like they're getting goofed up and trying to set this equal to 0. And I see why, because they're trying to do it, but there's no x in it. Does this factor nicely? How about it's x minus 8 and x plus 5? Yeah. What are the values of x then? Okay, but let's check. I'm not okay with the negative 5. It'll give me a negative log. So that answer is, what do we say? Extraneous. I would also accept garbage. Cool. Dog water, one might say. Maybe not anymore. Okay. Worth it. All right. How much money do somebody who works, like, and you can tell me it's none of your business, how much money do you make per hour? Like 23, 24. So let's call it 25. Okay. And we're just going to do some quick random math before we move on, because we're going to see one more application of this stuff. Questions about this? Based on Abijah, you guys are probably missing a few of these properties and you're wondering what's going on. I'm going to give you the whole break. Again, I cannot tell you how sorry I am that the videos weren't there. If it happens again, when it happens again, please just email me. Just like, hey, there's no video. I will walk over to the school and post them unless I'm at home with Zeke. I'll still probably walk over here, not like this. Okay, we're going to pause this to just do. All right, so let's pretend that we'd been saving and we had the deal of a lifetime. We were offered an investment opportunity and we were guaranteed a 20% return. That is huge. That is way better than any return you'll ever get elsewhere. You could gamble and get better on like some random stock, but you might not hit it, right? Even if you index or you invest in like a big index fund, the S&P 500, just the index fund that says, hey, here's everything. Year after year, you're probably going to average 6 to 8% on good years. 7-ish percent is about the average return on S&P. But if you were offered 20%, well, that's pretty sweet, right? Did you catch what I just said? Okay, so let's check it. We're going to do one applied problem. And let's say we put an even $20,000 into a fund that returns. Is 20 enough or should we go crazy with it? Okay. I mean, it's going to change very little. 20% yearly. Now, we'll even say that it's compounded continuously. That was a pretty good investment that I was mentioning. That one was more of an eye roll than a laugh, and I appreciate that we're finally getting through the veneer. $20,000 into a fund, give me 20% yearly compounding continuously. Now, here's the deal. I really want a Porsche, or a Porsche, if you will, but I can't afford a brand new one because those are like 200 grand. But the good news is I've checked. This is all made up, just so you know. And in Anchorage, I can get a like 2014 Boxer 911, which is like the Porsche-iest looking Porsche that you can find, for exactly $60,000. Now, I want him to hold it. And he says, well, how long do you need me to hold this for you? And I say, well, I don't know. Let me do some quick math. I have 20 grand and this car I want is 60K. I need to figure out how long until what happens. Can you word that differently? I agree with you. Is that the same as saying how long until we triple? And I'm going to say triple up because we just took 20 grand and tripled it up. Okay. The good news is this guy is really patient and even has a TI-84 calculator if we need it, and he's going to help. First of all, what kind of deal is it if we get continuously compounding interest? Pretty good. How do you spell that? It's a pretty good deal. There's no Y in this, unfortunately. Notice account is a pert, right? All right. Now, here's the cool thing. Do we know all this stuff? Do I know the principal? My initial is 20K. Do I know the account balance I'm after? 60. Do you know the rate? Yes. So all we need to find is what? Time. Now, if it were just simple interest, I have no idea how long it would take. I'm not even going to bother calculating it. We have two options, and I don't really care the way they go. Do we have a bunch of stuff we can plug in? We could plug it in now and then rearrange to solve. Or just hear me out. Could we just solve it right now? We have what's called a literal equation. There's no numbers in it. Everything is just variables. Could we rearrange this equation and solve it for t? And then once we have it solved for t, we could plug in there so we don't have to write 20,000 4 times throughout our problem. We don't have to write 0.0 or 0.20 over and over. I don't care if we solve it here or if we plug in and then solve. I know which one I prefer, but which one do you guys want to do? It's pretty clear that I'm trying to get you guys to pick that one, right? Got you. Just kidding. Yeah, I would 100% do this. I'm going to make that note because somebody's going to look at this in your notes and go, why did we do this? We can solve for t now, then plug in, or plug in first, then solve. Now, they ultimately wind up being the same in a physical science course. This is the part, like, I'm more of a math teacher than I'm a science teacher, but the good news is physics is just math. So when we're doing physics problems, it is really hard to get over the hump of wanting to like plug in everything that we know and then rearrange it. But there's so much less writing if we do that. Let's solve for t right off the bat. Okay, so I'm going to go this way. Yep. Meh. Like, it's okay. You can do it that way if it makes more sense. Plug in and then rearrange it. But let's try it. Help me solve for t. Where is t located right now? It's in the exponent, so I need to get it out. But before I do that, I need to isolate the variable. We are solving for t. Don't lose sight of that. What should I divide both sides first to make sure only stuff with t remains? P. Okay. I'll divide by p. So that takes me to a over p is equal to e to the rt. All right, now here's that wonky thing. How on earth, now that we have only an exponential, because there's a t in the exponent, how do you undo an exponential? So I'm going to agree with you. You just take the log, right? Any log. Now, it works really well in this case. Why does natural log work best here? Yeah, E. So this one, for those of you that weren't here the other day, it sounds like a nonsense statement, but when we do this, algebra says, and this is really directed at everybody, but focus on eye contact with Basil and Abijah. I'm going to make my eyes go lazy so I can look at both you guys. I really am too. I think you could both hold up fingers and I could see them. For real. Okay, I'm going to stop doing that because it makes me dizzy. Okay, if we do in algebra, if I do something to one side, as long as I do it to the other side, I'm okay. Now, we've done take the something of both sides before, but it feels like a new operation. If I took the square root, it has to have an argument, right? Now, to undo an exponential, we take a log. They're inverses. We are going to take the natural log of both sides. Now, on this, we're going to see the same sort of thing show up when we get to trig, and I'm going to have one more line of work than you guys probably do, and that's okay if you skip it. I'm going to have the natural log of the left equals the natural log of the right, and I'm just going to put in that stuff so that we can see it really happening. And this is e to the RT. Now, those of you that were here last class and actually had the videos because you were here, I'm going to work slower. You might go faster than me. If I look at this left side, I'm done with it, right? I just have values. This is some ugly number. What happens here? Where do powers move when we're working with this? So we have this property that's just called the power property where they just move in front. And I don't remember exactly what you guys were here for and what you weren't. Basil, did you have the power property in your notes? So we have the ln or log of base b of x to the n equals n log base b of x. Were you here when we expanded and condensed? Okay, so you definitely have this property, but it might be like hazy, and that's that was unintended, but that's going to become a new norm. Okay, so this side, it's just a, and you probably don't know this answer, but everybody else should. This is just a what? It's just a number. Like, that's it. Okay, over here, we get an r times a t, move to the front. That's my power property. And I'm apprehensive to even write it, but I will. Why was I on the fence about this? E to the 1. Like, that's 1. Okay, we're one step away. What are we solving for again? T. So here, I'm just going to say power prop. And if I want to solve for t, what would you have me do? Divide by r. And what we see here is that the natural log of a over p is exactly divided by r gives me t. Now, my follow-up question is no longer going to be tricky based on this. But maybe, just maybe, we have a good way to think about what's happening. At this point, can we just plug in? Yeah, plug in. And we're going to see something awesome happen. I'm going to plug in with a different color. The natural log of, what was our account balance that we were after? 60,000 over, what was the principal amount that we had? 20,000. If we divide this by, what was my rate? So how do I, let me go back. How do I write 20%? 0.2. And really, I don't care if you have the 0. I typically don't. Equals t. Now, I'm going to go one more step here, and I lied. I'm going to have you guys calculate this, and we're going to get practice with this, and you guys are going to hate this part, but that's okay. ln is e to some power. E to what power is this number, 60,000 over 20,000? But your calculator can tell you. Before you get a number, if you don't have one yet, if I put 20 grand in and 20% each year, how long till I triple? What's your gut guess? I don't have a number in front of me. We just made up this problem because I was chatting with Christina and Krina. My guess is 15 years. I don't know that or not. I'm total guess in the dark. Like, no educated guess at all. That's my guess. It's probably longer than that. Maybe. What do you guys get? I was way off. I trust your number. 5.49. Okay. And I don't know why I have an implies, and I'll just say equals t. Now, because the AP test has word problems, of course it will. It's going to. We'll start looking more closely at the AP stuff in the coming, after break. We talked about Workday Wednesdays. When we're looking at this, is there a context to this problem? Now, I didn't write it all. Do you guys remember the context that I gave you? Well, Anchorage Porsche dealer needs to wait how long for us to have the money? Say that again. 5.49 or 5.5 roughly years, right? So we need, I'm not going to give us the whole like Porsche context. That was just a fun example. We will triple our money. And I'm going to say 20,000 after about how long? 5.49 what's? Years. Now, for this, I do want to I'm going to start mentioning it now and we'll see it again. If this is the AP test and they gave us this problem and said how long till triple our money, this answer will get you credit. I'm going to show you the just absolute awfulness of the AP graders, of which I aspire to be one day. If we don't have that and we say it will take, and I even got rid of that. If instead my sentence is it will take about 5.5 years, you and I, everybody in here understands what we're talking about, right? You just lost credit on the AP test. What the heck? Because they're monsters. Yep, you have to give it specific just to show, and I don't know if I have an example. Just write a lazy sentence. Just don't say it, just say the. Let me see if I can show you because we're doing AP stuff. So here's a big related rate problem, whatever. The question was, how fast does the surface area increase on a sphere as it starts getting bigger and bigger? Okay, that's a pretty cool problem, at least for me. And then we get this answer at the end. If you said it increases at this rate, nope, you don't get the point. Nope, you will lose 1/9 of your point because every free response is worth 9. It has to be the surface area. You have to be really specific on AP tests. I'm going to start doing that. Even on tests, I already kind of do that. If we have word problems on stuff, I take away a point if you don't give me the context. It has to be a sentence, and you can't say it. You have to say whatever it is that we're talking about. Now, here's the cool part about this problem. What if, and I'm just going to say, we're going to do this without a calculator. Don't shout it out. I'm going to give everybody 10 seconds to think about it, okay? Or 20 seconds. It's a follow-up. You don't even have to write it. What if we wanted to triple, I don't know, let's say it was less money, $10K. How long would it take for us to triple $10,000? Check it out. It's still 5.49 years. Now, it doesn't matter, and you can see it right here. I'll even convince you. If instead of wanting 60 grand, if my initial investment P was 10,000, what's triple it? Do we still get 3, just like we got 3 here? Holy cow, it's going to be the same no matter what. If I wanted to do 5 times my money, this is just going to be what? If I wanted to quintuple my money, that's times 5 instead of times 3. This would just be, the ratio would be 5/1, right? It'd just be 5. I can use this equation if you know how much money you have starting and how much you want to end up with, whether it's triple or quadruple or quintuple, or it doesn't matter. It's always going to be this number right here every single time. And it's weird to think that we double the same amount, and where you're going to where with me thinking about it is I won't have 60 grand after 5.5. You're right. You'll have 30 grand because we just tripled. We would have to sextuple the 10,000 investment. All right. Here's the question that I'm not sure about the answer to. Did we have any homework for 3.4 yet? No. What was your answer? That was the most Midwestern I've ever heard you speak, and I like it. It sounds like it's a problem. Oh gosh, like I say the same things. I'm not like trying to call you out. I spoke with a French accent the other day, and Zeke looked at me and said, "Why are you talking like Mario?" Mm-mm. All right, so we're gonna adjust this. Here's the deal. Tomorrow, I'm gonna give you time in class to work on stuff. I don't take that as don't do any of it tonight. But I also want you to have a chill Thanksgiving. I'm looking at just giving us homework 3.4 and giving us probably 20 to 30 minutes tomorrow to look at stuff. But I also kind of want to start 3.5 tomorrow. We'll see. This assignment's going to be long. Is this section hard? Okay. So maybe we'll just go the other side and I'll just give you a short assignment here. And then if anybody ever do extra problems, like I think I know the answer, but anybody gone through the homework and been like, oh man, that was so short, I'm going to do more. No. Okay, so fair, Red. Do you think that maybe sometimes it would be beneficial for you to do so? Yep, I've taken, and you guys will inevitably take a bunch of courses where they don't give you any formal homework, and it's just up to you to decide how much do you need to do. If I don't give you enough to get the adequate practice, there's hundreds of additional questions that I'm not assigning. You can always do them. You guys have access to the solutions manual. Remember, it's online, it's Calc Chat. Cool, I'm gonna make this assignment short with the understanding that I trust your guys' judgment. You get a 5-day weekend. If you struggle with it, you can do a few more. I'm not gonna make you, but you will find this on page 235. And I want you guys to do problems 1 through, oh man, we just do like a ton of them. I just said I was going to make it short. 1 through 3. No. I like your style. Just so you guys know, we are going to start doing the vocab again. Like, not because I don't like it. It's actually the exact opposite. I want you to be good at the vocab. 11 through 25, odd. Oh, I have some of these circled. Why? 57 through 61, odd. Well, what do you guys find more interesting? Money, trees on a farm, people's average height, automobiles. Okay. Trees per acre? Okay. 84. Okay. I'm going to put due, and I bet I collected, but here's the deal. I have no idea how long this assignment's going to take you. I cut off so many problems from what I was going to give you guys. If it's not reasonable to hand it in tomorrow, we'll have time in class. I think it'll be reasonable to do like now by tomorrow. You'll be fine. If it has to be on Monday, I'll take it Monday. Especially you two who now have videos to make up. I'm so sorry. If you want to run through the video stuff, we can run through a few examples together. Abijah, do me a favor also though. Just, do you intend to watch a video? Are you going to watch the video? If you would like to come get your phone and take pictures of my notes, we get essentially the same thing, but there's typos occasionally in there that I never bothered to change because I knew that we were going to deal with them in class. You can grab your phone and take a picture of the notes if you'd like. And then I'm going to post and save this video right now.